This is Clay and Dale from EMF Rod Ends.
Hello.
We're going to talk today about Death Wobble, sort of what causes it, how to drive out of it. But my truck, the other day coming back from Edmonton with a little ball joints, I crossed a train track and I started to get the shimmy, so it's perfect timing. One thing we've noticed on this truck is about every 50,000 kilometers, even with my ball joints and tie rods and stuff, we still get death wobble. In this truck, we don't use a steering stabilizer. I don't have a steering box brace or anything like that, but we noticed that as the tires come to the end of their life, about 50,000 kilometers on this truck, is when we start seeing death wobble. Death wobble primarily is caused by a bad worn or balanced tire. But it's also in conjunction usually with the worn drag link, track bar, or intermediate shaft. It's a combination of them, but the tires are what initiate it. You can see here, actually this truck's also got like 300,000 kilometers on its shocks, so that the shocks are done, the truck just bounces down the road, so it doesn't control the tires at all. You can see the uneven wear on the tires here. It's in stages. These are a BFG KO2, so they should be kind of flat around here, but you can see the cupping. Factory ball joints from Dodge, they have a plastic liner in them, so the reason Dodges are so prone to death wobble is because the tires wear erratically, or
I guess uneven.
okay.
You'll get a lot more cupping because there's a lot more uncontrollable play in the tire. More frequent with a factory style ball joint than with ours. The other thing is we loaded the truck with about 1,500 pounds of weight to kind of simulate like tongue weight with the trailer and stuff on it, to get the weight off the front end, which will actually amplify the wobble. So if you watch the rear wheel well, we're just going to pick the weight out of the truck to kind of see how much that sinks. We'll take it out. We've got a camera mounted under the truck so you can see the front end, and hopefully we'll be able to get some wobble and document it on camera.
Okay, so this is like where I live and where my truck gets most of its testing. The graders just come down the road so it's smooth, but normally this is all washboard and really bumpy. But like I said, these are the conditions that this truck lives in. So we drive a minimum 8 kilometers down one of these roads, usually when it's wet, and then we hit the highway, and then I'll drive 600 kilometers with all the dust and the mud and whatever in my tires. So it's a really good testing ground. So as we were driving to our train track to create death wobble, I was driving by my friend Ludwig's place, and his tractor's out here. And one of the things that got me thinking about the solenoid being what the death wobble problem is was working on these guys. When they have GPS running these, as they're spraying or whatever, they're driving through a field and GPS will correct steering to keep the tractor straight. And when they're controlled by a ram, right here, and when these joints get loose, or there's play, the GPS will start to correct it. And at first it's just like clunk, 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 but if they get really loose, the GPS will turn that into a jackhammer, and the thing will just start going bam, 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 and it becomes almost uncontrollable. But working on this kind of stuff, actually these are the kind of guys that I built my ball joints for in the first place, because they're always out in these fields and back and forth. But anyways, it was watching the jackhammering happening on these or sprayers or whatever, I guess they're combines or whatever. When the GPS is on it and the steering gets loose, that jackhammering kind of started pushing me towards wondering about the solenoid and the torsion rod in the steering boxes. Okay, so this area here, I can make any truck that's close to death wobble over this set of train tracks. So we're going to come across here, and I'm going to show you the control it first. So we're coming on, we've got the truck loaded, the train tracks are here. I really don't want death wobble. So I'm going to let off, my RPMs are dropping. And we went across, and went across nicely. So we got a little bit there. I held into it, which you shouldn't do, because if you once you start getting the wobble, it's going to start wearing your tires off, because it's like hitting patches on each side of the tire. I held it because I was trying to wear my tires down a little bit so we can get this freaking thing to start doing the death wobble. Okay, we got death wobble. So the way to get out of death wobble, you're gonna have to come almost to complete. You have to bring your RPM down. It's gonna get worse. This is where I'm talking. It's hydraulic. Do you see how bad it's still going? But once you drop down to about, I don't know, 800 RPMs and about 50 kilometers an hour, you seem to be able to get rid of it. You can drive out of it. Don't keep trying to drive with it. I kept driving there just so we could get a little bit of footage, but you want to bring it to a stop as quick as possible, because you're going to damage your sector shaft and your steering box. You're going to damage your tie rods. You're going to damage your tires more than you need to. You're going to hurt your bearings. Our ball joints you're not going to hurt, but other guys' ball joints you're going to hurt. So to reduce the amount of damage when you get death wobble, bring the vehicle to almost a stop as quick as possible, so you don't hurt the rest of it. I mean, okay, so we just found another little area. One of the things is that we're opening a gate in the solenoid to the left or right, and that's activating the hydraulics. So I'm going to show you here. I'm going to come over with some throttle, and there's a little bump here, and I'm turning, and it should throw me into the... Oh Lord! Oh Lordy! Okay, we're gonna come out of that. See how I'm slowing down and it's still going? Makes no sense. I'm going slow and it's still hammering just as hard. That's the hydraulics. Okay, now we're gonna go over it, and I'm gonna drop off the throttle right as we hit it, and we'll see the tires are in wicked shape for death wobble right now, because they got that 3-stage lug going on from the slapping it back and forth. It's kind of like... Okay, so we're gonna hit it. I'm gonna come around. I'm gonna let it off the throttle, and we're gonna see if we get it. About the same speed. I'm off the throttle. And it didn't do it.
Same deal.
So no death wobble. So part of death wobble is actually operator error. Okay, so we had some cupping. The tire looked more like this side before we went and got our death wobble there, and then we were able to create death wobble easier and easier, because as it happened and I kept driving, you can see here how much this is worn down compared to the tight height on either side. And then you can see on these wider lugs where it's higher here, and it actually rolls down here and here. And this one's high here, really low here. And if you look over at these guys, they're all flat.
They're all pretty much the same height.
Right?
Also, the note on this thing is, like, just from this last go around, it's got an actual scoop in the tire, which is hard to see on camera, but you can actually see the roughed up mark from where the chatter was.
So this is why it's important to come to a get rid of, like, stop or get rid of the death wobble as fast as possible. Don't keep driving, because it just destroys your tires. I mean, when it happens, you really need to take the front tires off and put them on the back of the vehicle, or buy new tires. But in my case, I live on a gravel road, and you see how chewed out these things are. So what I'll be doing is I'll be throwing these on the back of my dually, and I'm putting these ones on the front for now until I can afford a new set for the rear. But
So we're just going to check this side and make sure there's no play in the ball joints and in the tie rod, and just to make sure everything's still good. So I'm just going to check the lower right now, and there is nothing. Absolutely no play there. And other than the play in the drag link, which we induced the steering wobble, there's nothing here. So while we were out inducing death wobble, we loosened this tie rod on the drag link to magnify the problem. Now, we've gone through and rebuilt this one with new inserts and a new pin just to be on the safe side. Now, these are a lot more heavy duty than your regular replacement tie rods. So if you do encounter death wobble, chances are you've taken out the plastic inserts and the junky internals, and it's probably going to be time for a replacement. Now, the upgrade would be our tie rods, which you can rebuild or tighten as you go. We've gone through and greased the ball joints, we've greased the tie rods, made sure everything's tight, and now we're installing new tires, so the problem should be relieved.
Okay, so just to demonstrate this tire, when it was new and I put it on, it only took this one weight on the inside to balance the tire. After getting Death Wobble today, that's what it's requiring for weights. We'll spin it here just so you can see it. Dale? Oops.
Ew.
I don't know if you can really see it. But it's all over the place. So, after our testing yesterday, I'm getting ready to put my other tire on because I was lazy. I went to throw this guy on. You know, I love new tires. I was all excited because I'm like, woohoo, I got new steering tires. This is going to be awesome. But when I mounted it, we put it on the balancer. It was requiring, I think it was 3 ounces and 2 ounces inside and outside. And then I spun it, flipped it, spun it. And now we're at like 1 ounce on the inside and 3 ounces on the outside. So you can actually see this tire wobble and move. The tire's no good. This happens probably on my truck. If I was to buy 6 tires, I would probably get 2 out of the 6 that are crap, like this one. Normally, I would throw the crap tires that suck, that they didn't do a good job at, on the back of my truck. I very seldomly ever try to stick them on the front, because if you stick them on the front, this again, you know, if you got weight in the back, which I'll have because I'll have a pallet, and coming around a corner fast with a little bit of throttle, it will probably send you into Death Wobble, even if all the other parts are good. Fortunately, I have the intermediate shaft delete, and I know my steering box is tight, and I know my tire rods are all tight, so I'm probably okay. But a normal person, you would go to a tire shop, you would probably have new tire rods put on, and this would be thrown on your vehicle, and you drive out of the shop and you'd be going down the road, hit a bump, get Death Wobble, and then you would call somebody like myself to complain about your steering parts or ball joints or whatever, because oh my god, I have brand new tires, it cannot possibly be my tires. But it is so common that a tire is bad. It's not the tire shop's fault, it's actually the manufacturer. It's how they're loading them, how they're stacked, they're being crushed in the containers as they're coming from overseas or wherever they're coming from. Yeah, and a lot of times it's not your mechanic's fault, and the big deal is, once they've been mounted, sticker's been ripped off, and they've been put on your vehicle, the tire shops won't take them back. Or not the tire shops, but the manufacturers. They're pretty fickle about it. But yeah, so I'm gonna run this guy, and I'm gonna curse and swear the whole entire time because I'm kind of pissed that it's like that. But I thought you guys should know that this is also, even though you just bought a brand new expensive tire from somewhere and had it put on your vehicle, this is it's still a possibility that it's a tire. So we're gonna spin it and just. You can see right about here. You can see it whipping around. Actually, if you come over here quick, you can see it kind of waving in the tread. I'm gonna spin it one more time here.
We're almost out of battery.
See the tire flopping around? That's your Death Wobble. Thanks. So, to wrap things up, we got the new tire on. We still have to put the other new tire on. We're not going to take it for a test. We're not going to take it for a test drive. I'll be doing that probably first thing tomorrow, but we're out of time today. If you go back and watch the video, you can maybe take a look at as we get Death Wobble. I, out of reflex, let go of the steering wheel because it actually calms it down a bit when you grab the steering wheel and you lock on. Maybe hold on to the steering wheel, but don't fight it. Kind of let it go and just bring the speed down. When you walk onto it, you're actually actuating that solenoid.
It's like opening and closing a window. So it's almost like a digital signal, but hydraulically. So it's opening, closing, and you're trying to fight it. And then when you hold on to it, it's actually making it worse. If you let it go and loosely hold on to it, it calms down enough until you can slow down and control it again and then continue on your way.
We'll be doing another video here in another week or two. We'll actually take a steering box apart and show you guys the solenoid and the torsion rod that's inside of it, which is what's creating the activation. And I believe it's because the manufacturers want the trucks to drive like cars, or the customers want the trucks to drive like cars, so they keep making that rod, that torsion bar, softer and softer, so it gives you better feel, so it takes less effort to turn the truck side to side or dry steer. If you've ever lost a steering serpentine belt in one of these, you lose power steering, you cannot steer the thing at all. So they've done a lot of work to make them steer very easily, but I think this is what's contributing to Death Wobble. The biggest contributing factor is the tires, and then a worn component on past that.
Right, so as a whole, you just want to make sure that you're not wearing tires, so you're replacing tie rods, you're replacing ball joints, you're making sure the front end is tight, good track bar, steering box adjustment, and you should give your tires longer life.
Also, one of the bonuses of our ball joints, I'm going to throw that in there, is that they are a more rigid ball joint than factory and than a lot of other manufacturers, but it helps the wear on the tires. As well, if you ever do get Death Wobble, it doesn't pound the ball joints. That ball joints can handle the pounding and whatever, and they're still good. You saw they were still tight. We did that test. And I just wanted to touch on the tie rods. We used to make the tie rods for these things. We don't offer them anymore. It's just too much of a hassle. Mechanics don't understand them. They can't wrap their head around tightening them, and it's nothing but a back and forth with customers. So we're just not going to make them anymore. But aside from that, thanks for watching. Hope we gave you a little insight on Death Wobble, maybe how to make it not so scary when you're driving. Stabilizers help take feel out of the road, but I don't think they actually help prevent Death Wobble. Again, this truck's got like 300,000 kilometers on it with no stabilizer. Subscribe.
Yeah, hit that like button and subscribe. Yeah. And then maybe, if we can get enough of you, we'll do the maple syrup challenge.